Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. So, today I'm going to be reviewing the 2006 Broken Lizard film, Beerfest. So, I ended up rewatching this one last night and I had a good time with it. Just as entertaining this time around when I first watched it. Maybe a little bit more entertaining. I found myself laughing a few times compared to like the last time I watched it. But I love the Broken Lizard comedy group. I think these guys are fantastic. I think they go at a great pace where, they're not dropping movies, every year. They're doing it, here and there. Now, I will say their movies, they've kind of, been on the back burner for a little bit because they have actually been doing a TV series where I believe they play EMTs and firefighters, I believe. So it's really cool that they decided to go with a TV series, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. I don't know if it's still on. I don't know if it got canceled, but I know like their latest movie, Quasi, which is like a spoof on like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and during that medieval time. I know that is available. I don't think it's available on home video, so you'll have to find like a bootleg, or, in a better term, homebrew as they like to call it. But they do have a select few of the a decent amount of their movies are available on DVD, and some of them are available on Blu-ray. As of right now, I have Super Troopers and this one. But Beerfest follows these two brothers. They just had to, deal with the passing of their great grandfather or their grandfather. I'm not 100% sure on that. And actually, it's their great grandfather because their Cloris Leachman plays their great Grammy, I believe. And they make their way to Oktoberfest. Things don't go too well, and then it leads them to the Beerfest games, which is like this underground, competition where they have like different countries, trying to compete. And one of the guy, I believe the guy in charge, is actually their relative, and there's basically this feud going on. They find out more about their great grandfather and their great Grammy, that there's, things that were kept secret, and they decide after viewing these games to compete. So, they get some of their friends and they have to train in order to compete. Of course, this leads to them finding out that they do have the ingredients, the recipe for this beer, and their great grandfather was accused of stealing it. They think their great grandfather was innocent, and yeah, they basically feud against their cousins, and there's this ongoing battle between them, and in order to resolve it, they decide to compete against their relatives in the beer fest games. That's the best way to sum it up. But it's enjoyable, very entertaining. I mean, we're getting close of this movie being 20 years old, which is crazy. Is it one of the popular ones? I would say no. Super Troopers is the one that probably gets talked about the most, but Beerfest, I think, is very funny and enjoyable. It's got some great moments. Your favorite group returns. Um, and yeah, I wish I could say more about it. You do have Donald Sutherland, the late great Donald Sutherland, in just a small little cameo. His scene is just quick and easy. It's at the beginning. I would never thought in a million years that I would see Donald Sutherland do something like this. But then again, earlier in his career, he did Animal House, and then Cloris Leachman, the late great Cloris Leachman, funny as hell. It doesn't matter what role she's in. She plays the same character, and she's over the top in a good way. And yeah, she's very entertaining in this as well. Um, Willie Nelson has a small little cameo. I will not tell you where his cameo is, but if you've seen the movie, you know what to expect. But other than that, you also have Will Forte. He's in this. One of the actors that plays his cousin has been in other things. He's a recognizable actor. The actor who plays the main lead in Psych, who has the photographic memory, I can't remember his name. He's in this. He's got a small little brief appearance in this. But nonetheless, it's entertaining. Oh, again, I keep forgetting Monique's in this as well. So yeah, it's like I forget, and then once get done talking about the specific actor, another one pops in my head. So I apologize for that, but yeah, I wish I could say more. I think by now a lot of you have seen this, but if you haven't, I would highly, highly recommend you go do so. It's entertaining, and if you're a fan of the Broken Lizard group, it's highly recommended. So, with that being said, that's my review for Beerfest. If you've seen it, let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed the review, give it a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Um, Now, the Broken Lizard, their selection of films are pretty great. Super Troopers being really one of the biggest popular ones that they have. And then, of course, there's Beerfest. There's also Super Troopers 2, which is not as good, but it's still enjoyable for what it is. But there's two movies specifically, two of their earlier films that surprisingly don't have Blu-ray releases. I don't know why that is. You'll be able to find like a bootleg out there of the two films, because just I don't know what's going on with the studios to not release them. I don't know what the deal is, but those films are Puddle Cruiser. Puddle Cruiser is actually their first movie. It's You can definitely tell they have progressed. It's still pretty enjoyable, but it's cool to see at least how they got started. And then there's Club Dread, which was their horror movie, horror comedy, whatever you want to call it. And that one is very talked about. It's grown a cult following. I think it has a really high regard as being one of the better Broken Lizard films. I mean, a lot of people remember that one a lot, but no Blu-ray. I actually did order Puddle Cruiser and Club Dread, so those should be coming in pretty soon. I still need to get Super Troopers 2. And then there's a few other ones that I don't necessarily think, well, no, let me rephrase that. There are some that are out there that have been written and directed by maybe one or two members of the comedy group, and then the actors show up, here and there. But it's not like all of them together as like a team, like as you would get for Super Troopers or Beerfest. There's one with is it Olivia Munn? I think there's a film with Olivia Munn. Do not quote me on that. But I think it was written and directed by one or two of the members of the Broken Lizard, and then the rest of the guys show up. Even like the director and the writer will have a small little appearance. But I know like the Dukes of Hazzard film we got back in 2005, 2004. One of the Broken Lizard guys actually wrote that. Actually, it's Jay right here. I can't pronounce his last name, but he wrote. No, he directed the Dukes of Hazzard film, and then him and another member have a small cameo playing, basically like spoofing themselves from Super Troopers. Um, yeah, just a really unique comedy group, and not one I hear people talk about. I feel like they deserve much love. They're entertaining, and I like the fact that they're not overdoing it with their movies, like say, you know, Kevin Smith. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, but at one point, I remember every time I turn around, there was a new movie coming out with them. They have slowed down, but these guys have been doing it right since the beginning. They just come out with a film and they wait so many years and then come out with another one. But I also believe a lot of reasons for this is due to just the studios and not getting enough money. I think like with Super Troopers 2, they actually had to do like not like a GoFundMe, but like, oh, what's the term I'm looking for? There's another like raising money type of thing, like a Kickstarter of some sort. that they had to do in order to get that, I believe, that movie made. But nonetheless, I wish I could say more about them. Maybe I'll do a separate video on them. But yeah, Beerfest is a pretty fun one. But with that being said, Film Talk with Mikey. And until next time, guys, we will talk films. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.